you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I thought I'd just film this really quick video discussion topic. Maybe we can figure out what's going on. I was sent Maria Draganova's Instagram story, and she was basically expressing her frustration because she was not permitted to purchase a bag at Chanel at the boutique that she deals with because she had already purchased a bag in the last 60 days. So, you know, she was trying to figure out with her sales associate, and she said that is our policy and she's never experienced that before. And I've never heard of anything like that here in Canada. I have heard of that in Europe, so like you can only purchase I think, yeah, within 60 days, one handbag. And that's usually to tourists, not to the locals or anything like that. It's usually for tourists, which is understandable because of the whole VAT refund. But that's never happened here before. So it just got me thinking as to perhaps why they're all of a sudden bringing up this policy and why they're enforcing it in certain localities. So I talked to a few people over Instagram DMs, and some people did tell me that they were told that at some point. And I've never experienced that myself because I guess I'm not buying 2 handbags in a span of 60 days, right? But you know, there may be some occasions where you do that, right? Like as a buyer, you know, as a Chanel fanatic, perhaps, you know, you find 2 unicorn pieces that you've always been looking for, and maybe you are prepared to spend that money on those 2 items. So I know some people wait for certain collections to come out because there is like a handbag that has always been on their wish list, and now all of a sudden it's available, and there might be 2 of them that are available. So people save up over the course of a couple of, you know, months or years, and they plan to purchase these items when that season comes out. But from, I think, the standpoint of Chanel, there has been a lot of reselling happening, okay? So yes, there's, you know, bags being sold on the pre-loved market, and that's, you know, different because people are using them and then selling or liquidating that item to put money towards another purchase, and that's totally fine. You're totally allowed to do that. Nobody can stop you from doing that. But it's starting to get, especially with like the pandemic, when everything was kind of closed and resellers were really, I guess, harnessing the advantage of this, right? Because they're able to purchase things at a boutique that are hot items and people are looking for them. They're willing to pay a premium for them, and they're not able to go into the boutique themselves. Remote shopping is not possible for them because they may not have a boutique in their city or country that will do shipping. So they were taking, you know, they were able to make a business out of it, right? And go buy some of these hot items, in some cases buy out boutiques of these items, and then advertise them on Instagram. Hey, I've got 5 of this bag, come and get it. And people are willing to pay that markup and premium to get that item because they weren't able to get it before. So I can understand that perhaps Chanel is really starting to crack down on these massive Instagram resellers, and I can see why they want to do that, because every receipt I've seen, at least the receipts that we have in Canada, we have like we don't get like that department store receipt, like we don't get that thermal paper receipt that you get in the US at their boutiques. We get the same style of receipt as you do in Europe, particularly in France. And on the back of that receipt, and I'll try to take a photo and insert it, there is a clause there that prohibits you from reselling. So it does say that it's for personal use only. And I've noticed that before. And I even questioned Chanel on this, especially when I was trying to track down those 20A Métier d'Art collection earrings, the gold earrings that I had purchased from Paris, and Canada didn't order them here. And I was like talking to my SA, and I'm like, wow, like people are really buying out all of the stock and selling them on Instagram. And I'm like, are they really allowed to do that? Because your receipts say this. And basically, you know, Chanel couldn't really enforce that, I guess. Amaya Lux, who is Amaya Links. Amaya Lux, that's her channel now. She did a video where recently Hermes is starting to write this clause on their receipts that reselling is prohibited, and everything is for personal use only. Because what was happening with Hermes is their quota bags, like their Hermes Birkin and Kelly, they were being bought and then sold for extortionate markups on the resale market. So I think they were trying to stop that so that their buyers can, I don't know how they're going to enforce that, but anyway. So I think Chanel is starting to crack down. If this policy is going to be more common amongst boutiques, I think maybe that's Chanel's effort to crack down on these massive resellers. Personal shopping is a different service altogether, and I explained that in my previous video, that personal shopping is more of like a concierge service, and Chanel should allow that because there are people who can't make it to boutique, or they're not living in the close proximity of a boutique, or they're specifically looking for a certain item that hasn't been ordered into their country and they want that item. So if there's a personal shopper that can buy it for them and ship it to them, with of course a personal shopping fee, then that should be allowed and it should be reasonable. But I think they're really cracking down on resellers. Also, it could be that they want to prevent mass buying because people might be buying bags now thinking, well, there's going to be a price increase, so I have these wish list items, like maybe I have like a medium classic flap and I have a boy bag or a 19 bag that's on my wish list. Okay, so I don't want to wait till next year because I know the price is going to increase, especially after that May 25% increase or 20% increase, which is crazy. Some people might be like, well, let me buy it now rather than later because I'm going to buy it anyway, just so that I don't have to pay the increase later. So maybe they're trying to space out buying so that they can nab us with the price increase. But I doubt that's the case. I doubt that they're trying to hurt the buyer. I think they're really trying to crack down on resellers, and there are a lot of resellers that are based out of Europe and the UK, in Asia as well, because of how many boutiques are there and the selection that's available. So it could be because Maria's in the UK that maybe they're enforcing it there because there are a lot of reselling pages that are sourcing items from the UK and selling to everybody else around the world. So the average person, yes, isn't going to be buying like multiple bags in a 60-day span, but somebody might want to buy 2 bags in a 60-day span. I really think that they need to assess the buyer and see like, okay, this is our loyal customer, and clearly, I don't know, like how would they be able to differentiate between somebody who's a reseller versus like an actual buyer, right? Like I'm assuming a reseller is going to be buying a lot more often than just 2 bags or 3 bags in a 60-day span. I was just discussing this with one of my friends here, and we follow like certain pages, like resellers and personal shoppers, and they're advertising like a classic flap in a seasonal color. We've got 5 and 5 of these, so you can order from us. And I'm like, how is that, like how are they able to do that, right? So my sales associate was like, well, they work in groups. Okay, so they work with other people in different cities and they get together and try to get access to what they can, and then they split the profits accordingly, which makes sense, right? Because it would look kind of weird if you went to the boutique and said, well, I want like 5 of those, right? Or, it could be that even with the sellers that are able to get so much bulk of an item, that maybe some sales associates are in on it because it has to be enabled, right? So I really don't know what to say. I see if this policy is in place, I can see where Chanel is coming from. I haven't heard of it here yet. But that's probably because I haven't bought anything in 2 items in 60 days. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think below, like, you know, maybe we can start a discussion on this. So what are your thoughts? Like, has anybody experienced this? What do you think the intention is behind this? Let's chat below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.